So we got a cord sleeve in here. Drop parachute cord or Dyneema cord or Dyneema runner or slings or whatever. Drop it through that to the other side and we make a gathered end hammock. The wind blew the camera over here. Drop my cord down in there. Comes out the other end. Put our free end through the loop. And then we start gathering it all up. But once you got it, you're good to go. This dude is ready to hang up. There's a couple of ways to hang these things. With a Dyneema cord, you can do just like the old-fashioned way, the way I did it for years. I come in here and I try, depending how big around the tree is, I double back a couple of times. And then I'll throw me 2 half hitches on there. And that's it. The only thing about that is if you're trying to adjust it to get it just how you want it, then that becomes a little more difficult because you got to keep tying and untying the nut. And that's where this little suspension key comes in. This is a prototype. We got some out for bid here to see about having them commercially made. Pull it off, then draw a little more cord into it, give it just a little twist, and let it hook over that little ear out there. Done. That's it. So you still have all the snaps, you still have all the tie-out tabs, and that means that all the accessories that go with the poncho shelter can also be used in here. This is an Osni Cloak, which is basically a poncho liner that can snap into the poncho. It's insulated with Apex, Climate Shield Apex, and it has about 1 inch of loft, so it's very warm. Makes a nice underquilt for this, so I can make the Osni into an underquilt as well as it being a poncho liner. So we try to make all our gear multifunctional as much as possible. Okay, so all we do, we're just running up right up here and snapping the underquilt to the hammock. The snap setup's already built in, so all I got to do is snap it in place. And the nice thing is it makes it so it's held in place down the whole length of the thing, and it's very secure, very stable. Alright, so the underquilt here has a drawstring on each end. When you draw that up, it secures it in place. It seals it off, traps all the. So you can actually adjust. How tight this thing is underneath you when you're laying in there by how much you pull on those. Once again, these are all built in to the Osni Cloak, so it's nothing else you gotta carry with you or rig up. It's already built in, and you just hook it in, draw it up, and you're done. All that's left is to get down inside of this thing. These are double-sided snaps, so I can actually unsnap there and there and snap these together. And I've done it before where I snap 2 or 3 of the snaps down at the foot end, so it closes the foot end in, and then I'm just up here on this end, and I can just throw myself a small blanket over top of me, and I'm plenty warm. So here we go. So look, you got quite a bit of space inside of there, and you can just get downright comfortable and cozy in there. I did put the Osni Cloak on inside out. It is, you know, basically reversible. So normally the multicam is the outside. I just put it up inside out so that it's kind of like about the same color as the hammock is. Experimenting a little more with the cut and slumberjack cut with the beast underneath it, and my Osni narrow blanket is snapped to one side of the beast, which that holds it in place, makes it so I can use it just like a blanket, like I like to. I'll throw a little of this in the fry pan here. Oops. There we go, look at that. Nice crunchy fry bread there. Alright, we'll heat us some chili. Go along with that fry bread. Alright. Yep, the fry bread's done. Cooked nicely on both sides. Believe my chili's warmed up enough. It's boiling. All right, it is victuals time. All right, chili, fry bread here. That's pretty good. Pretty good stuff there. Tonight I didn't just want to have chili. That fry bread just adds a little something to it. It's very nice. I don't know if I can get it onto the camera, but been running my signal mirror here. I got a phone call about a half hour ago from some friends of mine that run cattle out here in the San Rafael. They said they were on the way on their truck with some horses to go fix some fence. So I waited on the edge here for their truck, a red truck with a horse trailer. When I saw it, then I flashed my mirror at them, and then they saw me and stopped their truck for a moment and waved up. So it was kind of fun. They don't have any phone down on the bottom, so they have no way of calling me from there. Yeah, people often ask me why I wear radio clothes out camping. This rock right here, the way it erodes, leaves like sharp barnacles on here. It'll rip stuff up. Why rip up new clothes? This thing is a heavy beast. I don't know why I'm doing this. I just got this idea of kind of redoing the fire pit in a three-sided deal. It's always so windy up here. It's calmed down a little now, but oftentimes it's hard to do a fire because so much wind everywhere. So thought I might reframe this thing in some of these big flat stones and kind of shield it on three sides from the wind. I think I want to put this big piece right here on the back wall. So we'll put the pretty side out. The other side's been against the dirt. It's not. go. I'd hate to have that fall on me. It would probably mess me up. See, I've got my open front, which is really what I like when you're cooking, working at the fire. It's nice to have an open front. If I want to cook on coals or something down here, it's so convenient to do that right there with the fire in the back. I did put a stone back here, kind of a prop stone, so that I can take my cooking irons. So I can put those on there and put me a couple of pans or pots on there to heat up from the fire. So here's my new fire pit in use. So you can see I got quite a wide area here to have a fire. Over on that side I've got my cooking irons, and that way I can pull coals or whatever amount of heat I need on that side. I can pull it over there to cook with, and the rest of everything can just sit over here. So I think for lunch I was thinking about making myself a Pop-Tart or something kind of like that. What do you think? It doesn't matter what you think, I'm going to do it. Just because I want to, I don't know why. Alright, for this Pop-Tarts experiment, I'll take me a couple of, I don't know how much I need. Maybe that much flour. And I need a little, for this I'm going to need a little baking soda or baking powder. Probably about that much. And a little bit of some salt. Stir all that stuff around. See, I'm using the dough hook. Yeah, no, I'm nuts. I'm nuts. Now the wind just kicked up. It's gonna try to blow. Oh, that's too much water. Whoa, too much water. I'm gonna have to add more flour, I'm sure. So if you're out camping with somebody, then don't do this like I'm doing it with stirring it with your fingers and stuff. Well, I don't know, you still got to handle the dough though with your hands. I mean, you know, maybe it ain't all that bad. That's what I'm thinking. All right. So I'm just going to pull me off a little bit here. Kind of dust a little bit with flour. It's a nice thing when you're working outdoors like this. Yeah, if your flour gets thrown around a little bit, all that jazz, you know, it doesn't really matter that much. Okay. Alright, so there's one. How much do I need? If I get too much in there, I won't be able to close it up. I think we're going to call that good right there. Okay. I'll fold it in half and pinch all the edges around a little. I have no idea what this is going to do, but it should cook anyway. But I don't know what's going to happen with that jam coming out of there. I might have to try to do the next one a little better. We're hoping for beginner's luck here. I think for the next one I'm going to put more oil in there. This is totally experimental here, I'm not kidding. I have never done this before. Well, here we go. Here's number 2. See what happens with that one. Meanwhile, going to wash the dried up dough off my hands, but I decided not to. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. That is so good. Alright, turn this dude over. Ooh, I almost went too long on that. There, I cleaned my hands up a little bit on this one. That's the payday on this stuff. You got to eat the other stuff till you get to the jam. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that. That jam just gushing out everywhere, man. It is a mess. Man, this is so good. And it's simple. You saw me do it. All right, on this one, I spread the jam out a lot more on here. Flattened it out a little better, so let's see if this and the third time might be the charm, I'll tell you. Although I thoroughly enjoyed the other two. All right, let's see what we got here. Whoa! Yeah, you can be a little sloppy outdoors too when you're cooking over the fire. No big deal. No harm, no foul. Well, here we go with my doughy hands. The third one. I spread the jam a lot more. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's good. I spread the dough around quite a bit before I sealed it. Now I got jam almost everywhere in there. That's excellent right there. Oh. Gotta love camp cooking. You know, bacon's good, but it doesn't all have to be bacon. I'm a happy camper. Here's my my Osni narrow blanket and woodland. In the top there, my hammock. Wrapped around the outside is my Osni Cloak, and it's a Multicam by OD Green, and I turned it inside out. It's, you know, it's essentially reversible. So I just like that green color to match all the other green and everything. And then my hammock is the honeycomb ripstop in OD Green. So I'm kind of doing the OD Green thing today. So last night, this is where I slept. It got down into the 30s, and we had a ton of wind. It was crazy, and we had some light rain for about a third of the night. And I was gonna throw my tarp over here, and I thought, well, I'm gonna take a chance. I don't know how much it's gonna rain. Wasn't forecast to do anything, so you know, the whole surface of everything got kind of wet. But you know, this stuff doesn't like to hold on to water, so basically it dried itself after the rain stopped. Just in the wind blowing and all that, just kind of dried it all out again. So, but let me show you what you can do here with our ultralight rectangular tarp set up over here as a canopy. All right, here's the contents of the kit. Got tent stakes, you got cordage, ridge line, all that stuff. Now I've modified the kit slightly, a couple little tiny tweaks, and one of them is in the ridge line. Instead of doing, you get 30 feet of Dyneema cord. This is the tiny, like Dyneema string almost. It's 500 pounds test though. But I've actually chopped it into two 15-footers, and then I just go to the trees from there, and then I put two of the hookworms. We modified these slightly to work with our 1/8-inch shock cord. Here's my tarp right here. I go ahead and install the shock cord. I just leave it on there. All you do is that just hooks right in there. You're good to go, and then you can do your adjustment right down here. When you're first installing the shock cord on your tarp, and you don't have to leave it there. Most people are going to want to put the knot through there and pull it out, but really what you want to do is put the loop through there, pull on it so it leaves the knot up here. I mean, it'll work either way, but that way the knot's up here out of your way, and then this loop is what's out here. That's where you're going to hook to it, right out there. Just makes it a little easier. And so here's a way that I do it, where I'm tying right to my cordage that holds up my hammock. I come up here and I go around 2 times. So I've gone around 2 times towards the hammock end. Then I come back and I go around on the other side. I'm pulling a loop out. I actually could just leave a loop there, but I'm just going to show you. I could leave a loop, so you just pull the... So what we've just made basically is kind of like 1/2 of a prusik. Now see, when I pull on that, the tighter I pull on it, the tighter it grabs. So that leaves me the hookworm here to hook. And I can make an adjustment here, but I can make a lot of adjustment here if I need to. In the situation I'm in right now, my trees aren't that far apart, so I don't have to make a big deal of adjustment. So the first thing we're going to do is hook. I'm going to hook that hookworm right there. All right, so that's on there. And now you remember, all we got to do is turn us a little loop over there. And so I can adjust this up and down. Now I go to the opposite end, hook that up, and I'm suspended. And then all I got to do is put my stakes in, and I am finished. All right, so now I'm roughly suspended. And I'm going to pull on this side just a little bit, tension it just a little bit, and then I'll stake down the corners. It's just simple. You just pull on that, and it slides that loop right off of there. Now I pull it up however much more I want to tension it. And then I just twist, between my thumb and finger, I just twist it. And see how it makes a loop? I drop that loop over there, done. That's all there is to it. So I just put my stake in over there. I take my hookworm, and I just put it right over there of the shock cord loop. Now I just pull on it however tight I want, and I form a loop. Trying to get it so you can see it there. Form a loop, you drop it over there, you're done. The whole thing is set up. The whole thing is set up. That's it. Simple, easy. It's just crazy how easy all this stuff works. Lightweight. The tarp, the Ultralite Tarp kit's about 3 ounces. The tarp itself is about 9 ounces. So, give you good protection. So one of the nice things is, since I'm using those hookworms to go to my tent stakes, I can pitch this thing up, get it all situated. And if I don't really want to have a cover over me, which I don't most of the time, I can just unhook it, flip half of it back and go to bed. Something comes up, I just pull it back up, and all I got to do is hook it back to my tent stake cords, get back in, go back to sleep, done, in just a matter of a minute or so. And so anyway, there's my little setup right here. You know, right now it's just shading me from the sun, which is not the brightest thing because it's only 48 degrees out here. So probably a little sunshine would feel good. But anyway, very versatile stuff. Everything I'm using right here we make. And that's the stuff I like. If I don't like it, we don't sell it. There's a lot of uses for the Ultralite rectangular tarp. You know, you might even want to just carry it thinking, well, I probably won't need it, but in case I do, I'll take it. You know, it's small, lightweight, fits about anywhere. Just take it just for the heck of it. you know, at about 3 ounces, the tarp kit to hang it up and to stake it down. Why not have that as well? It's tiny, weighs almost nothing. And, you know, I just go right to sleep here. Be nice and comfortable. Out of the weather, if I've pitched it high enough, I can still see out. And barring really bad conditions, this will be fine. Conditions change a little bit, I'll just drop it down a little.